All right, Georgia Tech and Louisville. We've got Louisville 10.5-point home favorites, 57.5 the total in this game. Sometimes the point spread just tells you right away what you should be betting. And you know my thoughts about Georgia Tech whenever they're getting double digits as an underdog. I'm always interested. I'm always interested with Haynes King and Haynes, the law firm. Haynes King and then Haynes, the running back, as well for this Georgia Tech team. Their offensive line's terrific. Their defense looked great against Florida State, but a lot of that, as we now know, is Florida State on offense.
It's rough
and against Syracuse, the next time they played a pretty good team, Georgia Tech, that defense struggled a lot more against Cal McCord. But that was a lot through the air that did the damage against them. Is Louisville and Tyler Shuck? Well, Tyler Shuck might do some damage because he's been very impressive. But again, Austin Peay, Jacksonville State, who are clearly not as good this year and have struggled. They got blown out by Coastal too, and Louisville put a 49-14 win on the board against them. Louisville, Georgia Tech is only Louisville is off a bye. Georgia Tech did play last week, but it's kind of like they did have a bye. They played VMI and they won 59-7. So I still like Georgia. Whenever Georgia Tech's getting double digits, I'm interested. This coach too, Brent Key, has been very good as a underdog. Last year they were great. They were gold as underdogs, Georgia Tech. We already saw them win outright against Florida State over in Ireland. First game of the year as underdogs. Louisville looks good, and Tyler Shuck looks healthy, and Tyler Shuck looks like a quarterback that if he's healthy, he can be really good. And I always said that about him, but he could never stay healthy. He's been very good, but now you're not playing Jacksonville State. You're not playing Austin Peay. This is a much better team, and like I said, I think Georgia Tech's certainly capable enough to give Louisville a game, and that's all they need to do in this point spread range. What do you think here, C-Mac? Georgia Tech, Louisville, a little ACC matchup.
Yeah, that's how I feel. They just need to be in this to give it a game. No Haynes King, which I'm worried, the bad game. Even Shuck, he's just played nobody, looks great. I really loved him at Texas Tech. He could have a pick or two, So, yeah, beat up Jacksonville State, man, too. We can get to them, I'm sure it will. Whew, what happened to them? No defense at all to start the year. And they beat up on Austin Peay off the bye, and they are at home. I have to take Georgia Tech. This is like maybe this is like public spot with the dog a little bit. But that's the only way I can look. And because I haven't seen enough of Louisville, I like them. I like that they're at home. Usually these games are close. Georgia Tech's even, beat up on them in the past. So, yeah, tricky. Take care of the ball, Haynes King. And I think they'll be fine. And the defense, they gave it up a little bit to McCord and Syracuse. But, I don't want them laying points. They were laying points on the road. Here we go. They're on the road catching 10, over 10. Sign me up.
This year so far, Louisville does have worst defensive number. Now, again, they played nobody.
It's nothing, yeah. You got to look at ththese. That's what I was real quick going through last night, wow, this team's really great. Like when we talked about Houston, they've played somebody. Yeah. They've had a couple teams. Or some of these teams that they just beat up on two shit teams.
That's right.
And you can't really.
Louisville is worse against the run, and that's not what you want against Georgia Tech, who are a very mobile quarterback. They run the ball a lot. They're more run heavy than pass heavy. Georgia Tech, but meanwhile, Georgia Tech. You look at their defensive numbers early on, they're worse against the pass, and that does concern me in this matchup against Tyler Shuck. And the passing game has looked really good with Shuck. Now, again, nobody's, but still, it's looked good. And you put Jeff Brom with a good quarterback, and the sky's the limit for the offense with a Jeff Brom coach team if he's got a good quarterback to work with, because he's a great
Stay healthy.
He works great with quarterback. He didn't have that last year with Jack Plummer. Jack Plummer was stunk. Let's be real. Jack Plummer was not that good. He should have been a plumber instead of a quarterback last year.
Ouch. Jack, where are you, my man? I hope you're not watching this.
He awful. I've seen worse, but, man, he was not anything special either. Let's be honest. He's got a better – if Tyler Shuck stays healthy for Louisville this year, Jeff Brom's got a better quarterback to work with. He does. There's no question. And remember, this is a guy that's been around the block, Tyler Shuck. Oregon, Texas Tech. I mean, he's been at multiple schools now. The reason he's bounced around is because of the health issues. But man, if he stays healthy, he can be. So for that reason, I like the over as well. So I think Georgia Tech can run it on Louisville, their defensive weakness. And I think Louisville might be able to throw it a little bit on Georgia Tech, their defensive weakness. So over 57.5. I might look at that here in this game as well. All right.